When we don't have money, we don't make big mistakes. When I raised $5 million, I think, wow, I'm rich, so I.
Did you know 95% of printed money goes to 5% of the world population, and the rest of us only compete and share 5% of printed money? Elon Musk owns Tesla and SpaceX with net worth over $400 billion. Jeff Bezos built Amazon and sits on $243. Mark Zackberg owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. His net worth $264 billion. They are no longer chase market. The market chase them because they are market themselves. Meanwhile, you work hard properly on that condition job, working long hours to put money together, and finally deposit it in a bank account to save it, to buy a car or a house of your dreams. But the moment you put it in a bank account, the bank immediately withdraw it and loan it to someone else with 10 to 15% interest rate. Why? Because the bank isn't the place to save money, but a platform to connect with money. Perhaps you wonder why the wealthy people laugh at us, the poor. It's because our equation of money is based on survival. We save, hoping not to miss our dream. Yet, by saving, we drift further from the real dream of wealth. Because saving money into a bank account puts your money to a risk of inflation. You save your last $1,000 into your bank account for later to wake up finding it worth less than $1,000. Meanwhile, bank collected more than $1,000 from your money. Welcome to the industry of money and wealth, where hard workers are rewarded with speeches and motivations, while the industry tyrants shape the market and your reality. It is the economy where only few people live real life, while billions are competing, fighting, and arguing to exist. What is wealth? Is it having millions of dollars in your bank account?
Is it hot in here?
Is it owning luxury car, private jet, and living in a mansion? Is it being famous or celebrated? This is what majority of people questioning themselves when saving, gambling in a casino, and working hard doesn't come out well for them. What we have taught about money and wealth in school is actually 2% of what actual wealth is. What about the 98% they don't teach in school? Let's take a look on how many teachers go broke right after they've retired. This answers our questions. When most people hear the word wealth, they think about money, but that's not what wealth is. That's appearance of wealth. Real wealth isn't about what you can buy, it's about what you own. The poor survive by working, the rich spend by consuming. But the wealthy own the game itself. They own the companies that make the cars. They own the banks that lend the money. They own the platforms you spend your time on, the networks you connect through, the markets you buy from. Wealth is not income, wealth is ownership. It's a difference between driving a car and owning the company that makes the car. True wealth lasts. It survived generations, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Wilton families who built industries and still print money decades, even centuries later. Because money disappears when you spend it, but wealth multiplies when you own the source. This is the truth most never learn. Wealth isn't what you see, it's what controls what you see. And until you understand wealth, you'll mistake riches for power. Not all money is created equally. Not all people stand in the same position in the financial game. There are poor, the rich, and the wealthy. They may live in the same world, but live in completely different financial realities. The poor live in constant cycle of survival. Their income barely covers expenses. They work to live and live to work. Every dollar is spent the moment is earned. Their relationship with money is fragile, reactive, short-term, and controlled by forces outside their reach. One emergency, one job loss, one rent increase, and everything falls apart. The security guard, the cleaner, the waiter, the cashier. No matter how hard they work or how many hours they give, their income will always be tied to one thing: the size of problem they solve for the company. Money isn't paid for effort, it's paid for solution. A security guard can work 9 hours a day, every day, and still take home $1,000 a month, including overtime. Meanwhile, an accountant can make $10,000 in a day without breaking a seat. The difference isn't time, it's value. To earn more as a labor, you need to provide unique, high-demand skill or escape the labor trap entirely. The rich live differently. They earn more: doctors, executives, celebrities, entrepreneurs. They can afford the best: the house, the car, the clothes. But their wealth is often tied to ability to keep earning. They have high incomes, but also high expenses. If the money stops, the lifestyle collapses. They may look powerful, but in many cases, they don't own the system. They just enjoy a better seat inside it. When I was growing up, I used to think celebrities were truly wealthy: actors, rappers, football stars. Their lifestyle shines on every media platform. But then the headlines came. Stories of bankruptcy, downfall, and loss of fortune. Being rich is about money and opportunity, not ownership. Cristiano Ronaldo may earn enormous amounts now, but what happens when he stops playing? Beyoncé may dominate the music world, but what happens when she stops singing? Arnold Schwarzenegger was once the highest paid actor, but what happens when he stops acting? Their survival depends on the platform they serve. Soccer players depend on the leagues and sponsors. Singers depend on record labels and streaming platforms. Actors depend on production studios and media giants. As long as they remain useful to these platforms, the money flows. When they stop, the flow stops. And then there are the wealthy. The wealthy don't treat time for money. They own the system that generate money. They own corporations, stocks, real estate, portfolios, patents, intellectual property, platforms. Their money works around the clocks, whether they do or not. And while others chases rises or salaries, the wealthy focus on ownership, scaling, and legacy. The wealthy are different. They don't just work inside the platforms, they build them. They own the system that the rich and the poor depends on. World Bank owning the global banking network. Google dominating the internet. Amazon controlling online commerce. Facebook ruling social interaction. YouTube controlling content creation. Tesla leading the electric vehicle revolution. FIFA governing the global sport economy. Spotify, Apple Music, Sony, Universal shaping the music industry. Hollywood, Disney, Warner Bros. owning TV and film network. Wall Street dominating investment and trading itself. While the rich and the poor work hard to stay relevant, the wealthy sit back and update the rules of the game and focus on creating policies, rules, and regulation for the game. Wealth isn't about chasing money, it's about controlling the flow of money. It's about access, gatekeeping, policy. Stock exchanges makes money whether investors win or lose. The wealthy don't panic over recessions. They don't chase pay rises. They position themselves where everyone else has to pass through them. People can survive without their platforms, and that's why they win every single time. Everyone starts from nothing, but not everyone ends up with something. History is full of people who started from nothing, but not all their journeys ended the same way. 3 paths, one beginning, 3 very different endings. Mary arrived in New York at the start of 20th century with no money and no English. She found work in garment factory, putting in long hours just to survive. Her income rose slowly enough to rent a room and send little money home. She never built assets. She was part of the system, essential hardworking but replaceable. When she stopped working, the income stopped too. John came from the same neighborhood. He had talent, a gifted boxer. He fought his way to fame, signed big contracts, lived fast. For years, the money poured in, but his income depended on staying at the top. Injuries ended his career. His fortune faded. John was rich, but not wealthy. His lifestyle was built on income, not ownership. And then there was Andrew Carnegie, born in poverty in Scotland. He started as a factory worker, but he studied the industry around him, moved from labor to investor, and eventually built one of the largest steel companies in history. He didn't stay employee, he became owner. When he sold his company, he left behind a fortune that shaped libraries and foundation for generations. Carnegie wasn't just rich, he became wealthy because he owned the machine that made the money. 3 people, one beginning. One remained independent on labor. One rose to riches but fell when the spotlight faded. One built wealth that outlived him. This is the real difference between poor, rich, and wealthy. Not where you start, but whether you work inside the system, for the system, or own the system itself. For billions, money isn't a strategy, it's survival, and survival shapes mentality. The poor and average live in a cycle built on hope and progress. Hope keeps them dreaming, progress keeps them moving, but neither break the cycle. Hope is the fuel of the poor. It's the belief that someday, somehow, everything will change. Hope buys lottery ticket. Hope chases quick riches. Hope waits for promotions, handouts, miracle. Hope listens to motivational speeches, but rarely builds system. And hope without strategy is just waiting in disguise. The average don't live on hope alone. They live on progress. They work hard. They chase promotions, save money, buy houses, upgrade cars. They believe that if they keep moving forward, success will come. But progress inside someone else's system is still dependent. A better job, a higher salary. It all relies on structures they don't own. Progress makes you feel safe, but it really gives you power. The wealthy think differently. They don't rely on hope. They don't get trapped in progress. They focus on positioning. They ask, what system can I build? What assets can I own? How can I make money work without my presence? While the poor dream and the average climb, the wealthy construct ladders for others to climb and charge rent to use them. Many stay in jobs, moving slowly up the ladder they didn't build. Some, like early celebrities or high-paid professionals, escape poverty but stay independent. A few like Oprah Winfrey and J.K. Rowling shifted their mindset from talent to ownership, building media empires, licensing intellectual property, controlling their platform. Their thinking changed, and so did their positions. Hope is waiting, progress is climbing, wealth is building. Your mentality decide whether you'll dream inside the system, rise within it, or build your own. When the poor hope, the average climb, the wealthy build. But they don't just build to make money once. They build system that makes money forever. They industrialize their wealth. Wealthy individuals think beyond the product. Elon Musk didn't just make car. He built Tesla, a company positioning to dominate the future of electric vehicles. Jeff Bezos didn't just sell books. He built Amazon, a logistic empire and cloud backbone of the internet. Mark Zuckerberg didn't just build a website. He built Meta, a digital ecosystem that connects billions daily. They moved from an idea to a machine that multiplies wealth long after the first sale. Once a system is built, the wealthy step back from the labor. They don't need to be present for money to flow. Their companies employ thousands. Their assets generate returns 24/7. Their platform becomes essential part of daily life. This is industrialized wealth. Wealth that functions without the creator. To grow wealth, they use structures, corporations, holding companies, trusts, franchises, licensing, stock markets. One company becomes many. One building becomes a real estate portfolio. One product becomes a global monopoly. The structure scales wealth far beyond individual capacity. This isn't new. John D. Rockefeller, industrialized oil. Andrew Carnegie, industrialized steel. The Rothschilds, industrialized banking. Today, Google, industrialized information. Amazon, industrialized logistics. Meta, industrialized social connection. The pattern is the same. Take something valuable, build a structure around it, control access, and scale. While the poor live behind debt, the rich live behind memories. The wealthy live behind machines. Industrialized wealth doesn't retire. It doesn't die. It outlives the founder and feeds the generations. This is why dynasties endure. The individual may fade, but the structure remains. The wealthy don't chase income, they engineer it. They build systems that turn into industries, and industries into legacies. That's the power of industrialized wealth. We are raised to believe in beautiful idea, meritocracy. They believe that if you work hard, stay disciplined, and never give up, you'll make it. It's a comfortable story, but for most, it's just that, a story. Meritocracy tells us success depends on individual effort, but real power operates through systems. While billions compete through exams, job applications, and small promotions, the wealthy position their children through networks, private education, ownership transfers, and legal structures that guarantee their place long before the competition even begins. Many of today's most powerful families started generations ago. Their children don't start at the starting line, they start halfway to finish. Elite education, insider networks, capital access, family companies. These are invisible elevators that lift them while others are still climbing stairs. The system also protects itself. When new innovators emerge, the gatekeepers buy them, regulate them, or absorb them. Big tech requires small startups before they become competition. Financial institutions shape the rules that favors their survival. And media platforms amplify the hard work narrative while hiding structural advantages. This isn't accidental, it is strategic. Not everyone runs the same. Some are born into ownership, some into opportunity, most into dependence. Meritocracy pretends the field is level, but history shows us it's still dead. The Kennedys built power through politics and generational wealth. The Rockefellers through oil and finance. The Wiltons through retail dominance. Meanwhile, millions of workers in the same era spent lifetimes in factories, offices, and fields, believing hard work alone will change everything. Their lives mattered. Their labor built nations, but ownership decided destinies. Hard work matters, but only within the system you serve. The janitor may work 14 hours a day, but they'll never own the building. The banker may work 6 hours and make millions, because their labor is tied to control, not just time. Meritocracy rewards the position you occupy, not just the effort you give. The economy is often described as a game, but unlike most games, this one is rigged. The wealth don't just play, they design the board, set the rules, and decide who gets to advance. Behind every successful empire is a structure that locks power in place. Tax laws reward assets ownership and penalize labor. Corporations gain legal personalhood while individuals carry personal risk. Regulation often favor those with resources to navigate or influence them. These aren't coincidence. They are the architecture of the game. The poor are taxed when they earn. The middle class is taxed when they spend. The wealthy are taxed when they choose. While the workers lose a chunk of every paycheck, the wealthy structure the income through businesses, investment, and trust, paying lower rates or different taxes entirely. They don't break the law, they write the loopholes. Wealth isn't stored under mattress. It's hidden in layers. Shell companies shield ownership. Trust transfer assets, tax efficient. Foundation give influence while preserving wealth. Meanwhile, the average person's wealth is tied to a single job or mortgage. Both vulnerable, both taxable, both exposed. Capital is the oxygen of economic growth. The wealthy inhale it freely through banks, investors, and credit markets. The poor and middle class breathe through a straw, if they get access at all. Without capital, opportunities remain ideas. With capital, ideas became empires. That's why the gates really opens for everyone. The game is social too. Exclusive networks pass opportunities behind closed doors. Internship, partnership, investment, many are shared within a cycle long before the public even hear about them. It's not just what you know, it's who you're born knowing. Throughout history, power has always built walls. Feudal lords controlled land. Colonial empires controlled trade. Industrial giants controlled labor. Today, financial empires control data, capital, and law. The tools have changed. The structure hasn't. This is the rigid game. It rewards those who build it and restricts those who play it. And unless you learn the rules behind the game, you'll always be moving, not advancing. So, if all the wealth is occupied by all the industries, so what is that us, the poor and the average, can do? It's quite simple. You can start learning how to invest, stock market, real estate, and put your money there, and your money will grow. Or maybe you can start learning about the business. Mostly focus on learn about business industries so that you can position yourself. Because making money is all about positioning yourself. So if you understand the equation of building an empire, you can definitely make it. So subscribe to this channel, as soon we're going to release a video similar to this that explain how you can amass to wealth or build something similar to industries. So guys, I'll leave you with this. So subscribe to this channel, guys, as soon as I'm going to release more videos like this. Guys, thank you for making it to the end of this video, guys. Your time is really appreciated, guys. The next thing that you can do for me now is to subscribe to this channel and like this video, or either share it with more people. That I shall see you on the next one. So guys, ta.